Hey everybody, wanted to let you know what we have cooking up here in the Hagler house for New Year's Eve. I don't know about y'all, but whenever I was growing up, my Mama Simpson in Alcoa, Tennessee, we would always stay over at her place over Christmas and didn't leave until after New Year's Day. And so on New Year's Day, she would always make hog jowl, which is kind of like bacon. It's a little bit thicker, but it's got, plenty of fat around it, and smoky and that kind of thing. So she'd make strips of fried hog jowl and some black-eyed peas and collard greens, and then we would have that with cornbread. Well, each of those things symbolize something for New Year's Day. The hog jowl symbolizes progress, or some say prosperity. The collard green symbolizes money, for green money, and the black-eyed peas symbolizes coins, so I guess that's wealth. And then the cornbread is golden, so it symbolizes gold. So it's sort of a way to, eat something and continue a tradition, to have a good Southern meal and share a moment like that together. So I wanted to show you what I put together that is sort of a take on that, but it's a stew. All right, so what I have prepared is a stew called Prosperity Pork and Peas Chili. So here in the pot, in my Instant Pot, I've done everything in my Instant Pot. What I did is last night I tore off the stems from a bunch of collard greens, fresh collard greens, chopped them all up really good, and put them in the pot with some of this knorr caldo de pollo. To me, it's delicious. It's just chicken bouillon, but it's one of my secrets in the food that I make. It just makes everything taste good. So the collards plus this plus water overnight on low, drained that water off, and then this morning I came in and I added a can of these black-eyed peas. And yes, I do buy canned stuff sometimes. Sometimes I soak my beans, my dry beans, but if it's just me and Chris, we're keeping it easy, and this is inexpensive. So a can of black-eyed peas. In this case, I did one of these and 1 can of cannellini beans, and then a can of this Bush's Best Chili Magic. What's not pictured here is verde sauce. I actually made my own verde sauce from hatch green chilies that I grew, and jalapenos that I grew in my garden last year. So instead of that, what you would want to do is use some green verde enchilada sauce, okay? And then a tablespoon of this minced garlic. And fresh is better, but this is all I had on hand. 1 can of these diced green chilies. A little bit more of this caldo de pollo, about a tablespoon of that. Let me make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Okay, then it's time for the seasonings. Now, I season things pretty heavily because we like flavor. This household is not afraid of flavor. We go for flavor. So I am not afraid of that. I am kind of aggressive, but I don't like a heavily salted meal or a dish, but we do like flavor. So get you some Mexican oregano. You can find it on Amazon. Yes, Mexican oregano is different from regular oregano. You're going to want this, and you're going to want to go with a good heaping tablespoon, maybe even a tablespoon and a half of this. A teaspoon of garlic powder. I know you're using fresh, but you want a little garlic powder as well. For the onion powder, you don't want to go too heavy, maybe 1 or 2 teaspoons. I did 1 teaspoon. Cayenne pepper, this is going to depend on the heat that you already have in the pot. Taste it, because you've added that verde enchilada sauce. And so we just went with a 1/2 teaspoon of this cayenne pepper. Go for more if you like more heat. And then lastly, I wanted to bring that chili flavor. And so I went with 2 tablespoons, or maybe 1.5 tablespoons. I just measure everything in my palm, of this ground cumin. Okay. And then the last thing that you're going to do is make up some cornbread mix, and you're going to create dumplings. So use a Jiffy corn muffin mix, very inexpensive. To this, you're going to add in a 1/4 cup of milk. It's a little bit less than what it calls for on the package, because you want it to be a little bit thicker so the dumplings don't break up. And you're going to do an egg and then 2 tablespoons of Duke's mayonnaise, and that just makes the dumplings a little bit more tender. So, honey, come over here and hold this camera. I'm going to show them how we serve it up around here. Okay. So, I'm just going to make Chris a bowl. Oh, I almost forgot. You got to put the meat in there. You have to have the pork. This is Prosperity Pork and Peas Chili. Black-eyed peas, pork, greens. What I put in is, last week I had roasted in the oven a pork butt. And so it's just pulled pork, but you could also use smoked pork sausage, or you could also use diced ham. So there it is, a delicious Prosperity Pork and Peas soup. And then for dessert, we are doing my Death by Chocolate cake. This is a devil's food cake that I have made with a little espresso powder in there and black cocoa. You can get both off of Amazon. And a very delicious dark fudgy frosting that has that same espresso powder and black cocoa in it. It also calls for just regular Dutch process, not Dutch process, I don't know, just regular old cocoa, like Hershey's cocoa. But there's just something about that, black cocoa and the espresso powder that really makes it great. I'll post the recipes below. I hope you all enjoy. Happy New Year.